Now, as regular viewers know, I tend to think the Deutsche Bahn, Germany's largest rail operator, is often unfairly criticised by the press and the general public. Germans love to complain about it. Well, I use the trains quite a lot, and honestly, it isn't that bad. However, they do sometimes make it difficult for me, and some of you will no doubt have heard about the recent embarrassing incident that turned what should have been a triumph of German engineering into a farce. A new high-speed railway line has been built, which it is hoped will cut the journey time between Berlin and Munich from 6 hours to 4. The railways now have to compete with budget airlines, so this kind of thing is very important for them. Before regular services started, there were some special journeys carrying politicians and journalists, because Deutsche Bahn knows the importance of a good PR campaign. The guests would be whisked through the Thuringian countryside at record-breaking speeds. The first journey from Munich to Berlin went as planned, but the return journey, carrying 200 guests of honour including, yes, journalists, arrived Munich 2 hours late. According to the Bavarian broadcaster Bayerischer Rundfunk, the train performed 3 emergency stops and spent a lot of the time slowed almost to a crawl. And it wasn't the only train to be affected. Even after the line had been officially opened to regular passenger traffic, the problems continued. So how did this happen? How did this marvel of modern technology fail so badly? Deutsche Bahn has said it's found the problem. It lies with something called the European Train Control System. This is currently being rolled out right across Europe to replace traditional signals. The idea is to have a single unified system right across the continent and also to eliminate human error. Except that it doesn't eliminate human error. It actually worked exactly as planned, bringing a train safely to a halt to prevent an accident. It's not its fault that it thought the train was in danger. The onboard computer needs to know how fast the train is moving. There are a couple of ways of doing this. One is to detect how fast the wheels are spinning. In order to calculate from that the speed of the train, the computer needs to know the diameter of the wheels. And this is where the problem was. Somebody had typed in the wrong number. As a result, the computer was receiving conflicting information about how fast the train was actually moving, and so had to assume that something had gone badly wrong. Under those circumstances, there's nothing much the driver can do. The train detects a potentially dangerous situation and automatically stops. But the journalists were treated to the sight of worried-looking engineers running up and down the train with laptops trying to find the problem. It wasn't the only problem. The weather also caused issues in some parts of the country, with high-speed trains actually being physically damaged by ice and having to be taken in for repairs. But while Deutsche Bahn cannot be held responsible for the weather, it did have to apologise for the software problems. To make this slightly more complicated, it does seem that this problem was known about weeks ago. Back then, Deutsche Bahn did say something about having a few more problems to iron out, but they were confident that it wasn't anything serious. Turns out, it was serious enough. It also took about 26 years to build the line, although here I am going to defend Deutsche Bahn. The problem was actually politicians delaying the project for, well, basically political reasons. Let's hope the problems are solved quickly. And let's also hope that people have learned the important lesson that while modern technologies are absolutely fantastic and have lots of benefits, there is no such thing as eliminating human error. Human error. Human error. Human error. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to send me a postcard, here's the address. And don't forget to visit my website and follow me on Twitter and Facebook. Also, if you'd like access to special bonus content and help with the costs of running this channel, please consider making a small monthly donation on Patreon.